Hello, my precious lovelies. Well, this is going to be quite a show. This is going to be quite a revelation to a lot of people. Now, as you know, I felt it my duty to out certain people on, I don't know what you call them. What would you call them? Perverts. Yes, degenerates. You know, like last time I outed this fella for his perversion. Yes. Now you're going to find out the truth about Yax's little old man from up. Yes, little old man from up, Uncle Bobby, who everyone thinks is so cute and cuddly, would like to be the granddad. Really, when you go round the chicken farms in Yorkshire and ask the chickens what they think of lovely, cuddly Uncle Bobby.
We mustn't panic. We mustn't panic.
How do?
Yes, darlings, yes. The time this rogue was outed for what he is truly like. But first, let's say hello to a few people in the comments. Yes. The only way is crazy. Hello, newbie. Hi, Kelsey. Oh, you know Kelsey's got to have this. Kelsey has always got to have this. Be mine. And NFG, hello NFG. Lovely talk last night. It was brilliant. I enjoyed that. Kate, yes, my little witch friend who casts spells in the background for me. Hawkeye, your nightmare. I haven't missed anyone, haven't I? Crafty Cow, I love Crafty Cow, can't miss Crafty Cow. Welsh Girl, can't miss Welsh Girl outside, can I? So yes, Uncle Bobby, the terrorizer and violator of chickens all over Yorkshire. You see, he comes out with this. Well, as people know, Bobby is. Bobby has the channel. What's it called? Some little channel. Is it called the Decahegi Reaction Channel? Something like that. It's called the Decahegi Reaction Channel. Something like that. I know it's all Decahegi on there. That's all you're going to see on there. But anyway, yeah, he does this. Let's see if we can find him. Yes, let's see if we can find Mr. Chicken Terrorizer. Let's see. Yeah, let's see if we can find some. Oh, what if I put that on? Oh, you don't want to see what I've just got up there? The Heretic, the Exorcist 2. My God. That would put the crapped up anyone. It's that film. Has anyone ever seen that? The Heretic. God, it's pants. Yes, here it is. Here he is. Here's the degenerate. Yes, here he is. Now let's see. Let's get something that we can look at. Yeah, let's do a reaction video. Yes, let's do it. Try to get me headphones for you all. Yes, let's see. Yes, let him put on this nice little granddad act. Yes, we know Uncle, but I know Uncle Bobby, don't I? I know the truth. I know the truth behind Yorkshire's nice little granddad, little old dear. I know the truth. Right, here we go. Let's share screen. Let's see this. You now will be looking upon the face of the man that causes terror. Here we go.
My father used to say when I was a kid, the man that says he understands the woman is a liar. Well, like oil and water.
Did he just say water? Did he just say water? I think that means water.
Don't mix. I say, the Maria spent 20 years changing you, and then say you're not half the man you used to be. Right, it's a strange world.
Oh, you see people you think there, don't you? Oh, nice little old man. Nice little cuddly old man. Oh, depraved. Depravity knows no bounds with that fella. Depravity. Of course you would, because you're a bleeding pervert yourself, aren't you? Of course you'll love him. You're a right bleeding degenerate yourself, you. You're the king of the degenerates. Yes, what you did on my show. I mean, you call Decker saying that it goes with Oxford. You will not. I'm just. Oh, wait until. Oh, yeah. I won't reveal. Well, I don't know what to reveal now about that. Rach. What? Oh, yes. Oh, you know, Rach that goes on Video Craig's shows. You know, Rach. Miss Excitement 2023. Oh, Rach, it's your birthday. I've just bought you a diamond ring. I'm taking you to Disneyland for a week. Oh, brilliant. Yeah. Oh, Rach, your whole town has been wiped out by a meteorite. No one survived. Oh, boo hoo hoo. I'm devastated. You know that, Rach? Oh, yes. Well, if Uncle Bobby is the terror of the chicken coops, all that I'm saying is Rach is the terror of the. Should I reveal this now? The cucumber patches at night time. Yes, the cucumber patches at night time. That's her. That's her depravity. Anyway, so are you Neil? I'm not saying Neil. Neil. That's how you pronounce that. I'm not reading that out. Why? Where's Carol? Where is Carol? Tries to get up. Oh, yeah. Where's Carol gone? Anyway, anyone want to jump on for the talk? Yes. Anyone want to? Yeah, tell us all your tales of Bobby and anyone, if anyone wants to come on. Oh, did you see? Do you know what? Danny Christie has it's gone up my estimation. No, he's a brave man. Danny Christie has to be the bravest man on YouTube. Never mind the fighting. We all know he's a good fighter. He's brave. He's made of steel. He actually put up a video admitting to being in a bleeding new criminal. He actually has admitted to being in a bleeding new criminal. Now that's got my admiration. I sure as hell wouldn't do that. Oh God, Steve Wraith is going to hate my guts. He really will hate my guts. He'll never speak to me again. If anyone wants, which no one ever does. No one ever does. Just looking at the chat. So anyway, how has everyone been? Has everyone been okay? Been enjoying yourselves? Getting into any trouble? Any scandals you want to tell me? Anything like that? I'm always on full scale. Always on full. See, Craig should be watching this. Watching, talent, professional, top form talent. That's what he wants to watch. That's what he needs to be watching. Instead of going on people's lives, crudely adulterating their lives with his filth. Utter filth, I must say. Kate, get on here now. Yeah, you should be taking notes. Get on here now, Kate. You can bleed and go on NFGs. You're going on mine, right, girl? Get up here and start talking about witches and things like that. I don't know. Talk about it. Talk about sacrificing donkeys to the great horn god and all this business. whatever witchies get up to. I don't know. I've never been a witchy. I don't know what they get up to. Maybe I should be saying now she's got to suck the blood of a vampire bat. She can't come on. That's what she'd be saying. I've got to suck the blood of a vampire bat. I can't. I'm busy. I'll come on next time. Telling you. I know. Wasn't that? That was disgusting, wasn't it? That was absolutely. I had the police here this morning. Broke down the door. A raid it was. Saying abuse of stuffed animals. A hippie witch. Oh, God, whoa. Tell you the story. I was always opening my mouth, you know what, when I was younger. I still do it now, actually, but when I was much younger, I used to always end up opening my mouth and causing absolute murder. And I remember one of my workmates said that, said, you do that on purpose. You open your mouth and total chaos comes out. I called someone a hippie. Oh God, how old was I? I was only young. I was about 22 at the time, and it was in the theatre. And in those days, well, not all that long ago, actually. I mean, no, of course, not all that long ago. But we had the hangover from the flower power hippies, and of course, everything had changed since then. So hippies were more looked down upon at that time. They were always kids. What they were, it was always a woman you'd get in the theatre where she was wearing a nondescript flowery dress. She'd have her hair grey, long. She wouldn't shave under her pits. And I don't care what anyone says, a woman should not be hairy under her arms. It's just not a nice look. It's not a nice look at all. But they do that kind of thing. And I remember a call, I was going on, I said, oh, not the bleeding hippies. Said, there we are. I said, wait for the frigging guitar and wait for this. It's singing absolute crap. And there'd always be a fella on the guitar and he'd be going deaf. So he'd be going, hey, what? Yeah, just say that again. I'm a bit deaf. And this is what it was always like with them. I don't know why they were all like that. And I got in trouble. What do you mean, hippies? These are. And I was like, oh, get lost. I said, the time has been. I said, tell her to shave under her armpits. I said, it's disgusting. I said, a woman with hairy armpits. But yeah. Oh, I was always. Oh, yeah. I tease her. I'm always teasing you, aren't I? Kids, I'm always teasing her. Oh God, don't come on here if you don't want to get pulled to bits. If my eye wanders on you and I think, oh, could I say something here? I will do. I haven't even started on Kelsey yet. I will do. Oh, what's this about football teams on YouTube? Everyone's going, what have I done with you? Oh, what have I done? I haven't. I thought I'd put you in timeout then, Johnny. I need some new players. Flayers, there we are. Flayers. What's going on in my mind, Flaying people alive. That means skinning people alive, for people who don't know what flaying means. I need a few players for my YouTube team playing Saturday, 3rd September, Manchester. What are you doing in Manchester? Manchester's for Mancunians, not Jockney Cockneys. Are Jockney Cockneys allowed to go to Manchester? I don't know, are they? Oh, I know, Compet, no. Absolutely fuming, isn't it? Because I'm out there, what it is. And it's just not me out there. YouTube, so it's only YouTube footy, it's not real. I thought people would have them. How do you play YouTube? Oh, it'll be a game, only one of those games. I don't know anything about football. I know. But if anyone wants to, head over to Jockney Sparrow's channel on the 3rd September for his YouTube team playing Saturday. Let's see. So anyway, no one coming on again. I'm left all on my own. I'll put it out again. See. Oh, wait a minute. It's Jockney. See, Jockney always comes to my rescue. Yeah, he thinks, oh, you see, I'm a charitable case. You lot don't realise that I'm charitable. You come out onto my show out of sympathy. That's what you're supposed to do, out of sympathy for me. Are you, Johnny?
Oh, good evening, Anne. How are you?
All right. Yeah, I've seen how everyone ignores me when I say, do you want to come on? Out of an act of compassion. See, if these were Christian good people, they'd say, the poor sod, let's go on. They can't leave Anne to look like an absolute lemon, can we? But you, come on, don't you? So what's this Manchester thing you've got going on?
Yeah, what it is I'm the manager of one team, and PP, you know the guy PP, you've heard of him, haven't you?
Hiss boo! Hiss boo! Hiss boo! Yeah, go on, yeah, I've heard
Yeah,
of him.
he's the manager of the other team. So we're having a game in Manchester on Saturday the 30th afternoon, September 30th. Not this Saturday coming, but the following one. And I've got quite a good few players in my team, but I've still got a few positions that I need a few extra players. If anybody up that area wants to play, they're welcome, you know.
You did say PP, didn't you?
Yeah, he's manager of the other team, and I'm manager
I'm
of this
just
team.
are you House of Pain? Are you? So you're sounds it's no PP. I'm in the same position with Craig with him. It's 1 minute I like him, next minute I can't stand his guts. 1 minute I like him. Once he starts using that cold neck one at PUFF, that's when I go for lunch for the throat. So stop that. But it's one of those people he needles. But again, as everyone knows, John, it's not easy to get me riled. Some people, people breathing sometimes gets me upset. So with young boys like Scott Chegg, JDP, maybe not vapey. Oh yeah, Craig with his vape. Craig with his vape. Do you know this, Johnny? Did you know Craig doesn't smoke? Has never smoked in his life. Yet the idiot has started using a vape.
Huh?
A vape, yeah. What's the point in that? Just got himself hooked on nicotine. Never smoked in his life. And if he ever tries to give up the vapes now, he'll know what smokers go through. It's not easy. Have you ever smoked, Johnny?
No, not really, no.
Oh, I did. And I tell you now, would I go near nicotine again? No chance. But Scott Chegg, yes, I remember. Oh, what was Scott? Was Scott Chegg talking about? And let's see, not Scott Chegg. SDP, whatever, it's Traveling Banter. Let's see what he's been talking about. I wonder if he's been talking about Decker. Let's see. Let's see what he's been talking. I wonder if he has. Let's see what's he going on about here. Let's see videos. Oh, Karasimazi accepts Decker Heggie off. Here we go. Let's have a look. Here we go. Let's do a reaction video, people. Let's do a reaction video to the JDP. He's not showing this chain up. Usually he's showing this gold chain up. So look at me. Let's see. So let's get this ready to roll. Let's get ready to rumble, as they say. Here we go. So present.
Now with microepidemic hyaluronic acid.
Here we go. Let's see.
What's happening, people? Traveling Banter, JDP here. Just out with the pup again. Getting him off the lead as much as possible now. Come on, boy. Come on. Yeah, still in the early stages. I'm going to try and send him off for proper training at some point.
Oh, look at that. Oh, shave the bum fluff off your chin, boy, until you can grow a proper beard. Yeah,
Yeah, just doing the bits and bobs for myself at the moment. But yeah, as you can see by the title, go on, Fons. As you can see by the title, Karate Marty accepts Derek.
Oh, wow. Karate Marty accepts Decker Hickey's off. I don't with a twist. So I'm gathering that Dekahegi or Krasmasi's put out there that he's accepting it. Now we've got to know that he's accepted because
challenge, but he's putting all sorts of crazy obstacles in the way. Just do it the normal way, Martino. Don't make it so it's like never gonna happen.
Martine, did you just say Martine?
Just get a fair play, man. Local fair play, man.
Just wait a second.
Come on.
Oh, wait,
Getting good, you know.
Kate, just wait one second. Kate, just let me just show you. I won't put it up. Just show your face quickly, Kate. Just in case that mouse thing is trying to pawn on me. Just very quickly. Oh, I'll take a chance. There, Kate.
I can't because of that.
Oh, you're all right, because I thought to take, because those, if you're small like that, small little screen. Thank you for coming on my live. Is this the second one you've been on, isn't it? And she doesn't reply.
I had to go and sit in my laptop to do it.
Oh, look, there's
Grace's came on as well.
Oh, what's her name again? What's the little pooch's name?
Gracie.
Gracie. Oh, she's lovely.
Yeah.
Look at getting good. Yeah, just get a local fair play, man. Same as anybody else would.
We wouldn't know that, would he? He wouldn't know that, would he, JPD?
Just get it on, man.
This is where I'm going to click off this now because anybody that knows me, you'll know this, Johnny, won't you? When people start saying man, dude, all the time, it triggers me, and I want to send them to prison for a very long time because it gets on my nerves. So, and he does that. He goes, man, and it's like if you keep on saying man, I'm going to come after you. I'm going to come for you, boy. Where's it gone? Where's my thing gone? Yeah, I'm going to come. You'll need a fair play, man. If you keep on saying man or dude, you'll need that. That's what I'm ready for. That's what I'm ready for. So anyway, kids, how you doing down with your precious little baby?
Well, I'm fine, but I just wanted to say that I don't have hairy arms.
I know. That's what it was like years ago. Oh, it was terrible. In the theatres because they sort of had the leftovers from the flower power days. This is the 80s. And they all used to come in looking the same. And I'd be like, oh, good God. See, this is nasty horror. I've always been a nasty mouth. I have. Always been mouthing off. So our old little, do you know what? I'm reaching out to the screen. I always do this when I see a dog, stroking the screen. Does anyone else do that? Oh, beautiful.
I can hear you because I had another thing running. Yes, she's been really sick today. There's another bug going about. So I've been cleaning up sick all day. And she stinks.
Oh, God. Do you know if she ever gets the runs, which they will do, and they start getting the runs, I tell you what you do. You feed them on boiled rice, just plain white boiled rice, and you can get a thing off Amazon. I'll find out what it's called, but it was fantastic because remember my little fella Bonzo, as he got older, he started getting the runs, but it was really bad. And I got this thing off Amazon. It's like a little, I don't know what you call it, like a little thing, needle thing, which it squirts out this stuff. And he only had 2 doses of it in one day, and he was cured. It was amazing, totally cured, right. No more runny bum. But yeah, that's it. You have to be with them, don't you?
Have you heard of saps?
No.
From the olden days, they used to make for dogs. It was milk with bread in it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Uncle Bobby will know about
that. I tried that, but it didn't work. So, yeah, I'm desperately needing something else because
white rice. I tell you now, white rice is...
Yeah.
Because what white rice does, it also... it will stop her going into the runs as well. It will
Yeah.
absorb it. So I'd do that. But that thing off Amazon, let's see if I can find it now. Just give us a second. If anyone has dogs and they start getting the runs, which when they get older they do, and you've got to be careful with the runs with dogs because they can dehydrate them really bad stuff. But let's see if I can find out where this is. Let's see. I'll put it because it was
a dog is that one? Do you know what
She's
breed
a
it is?
Maltese. She's a Maltese.
A what?
a Maltese.
Maltese.
Maltese dog, yeah.
Yeah.
Where is it? Oh, is this it? Here we go. Got it now. I'll type it in. It's called Procolin. Here we go. Procolin. I'll type it in the chat. Procolin. I'll just make sure I've got that right. Procolin. If anyone has a dog and they've got the runs, get this Procolin. You can get it off Amazon and it is absolutely fantastic. I say 2 doses and it just with my dog just cured them the runs because when they get old they'll get it. And I say you have to be you have to be careful because if they get dehydrated, the little things as well, so they'll dehydrate much quicker than let's say we would. But and ask for hair walls to be painted dragon now or whatever that is, white. Oh, I like it. It's nice. It's a nice relaxing. Oh, there's your Becky Lynch cushions, aren't they? She's a Becky Lynch fan. Yeah, Becky Lynch. Look at that. There's the leopard print cushions there. So, kids, it's a Becky Lynch.
And then this side's more boho. I've not got bright lights, so you can't see.
It'll be lovely in Christmas, though, won't it? That'll be gorgeous in Christmas. All nice and.
It always looks Christmassy in this house because the whole house is red.
Yeah, but yeah, it's nice.
Everything's Becky Lynch. I love a bit of leopard print.
Well, I worked with her once, Julie Goodyear, when she was doing a pantomime in Liverpool, and we all heard about this, this drama queen, and she was she was demanding and all this. No such thing. She was lovely, and I remember one thing that stuck out in my mind. This was before she released a book. Then she released her book, and she called the book just Julie, and that was what stood out about her. She didn't try to impress you. She'd just come on, she'd come into work, and it was amazing because her as a person is completely different from Becky Lynch. And, every night you'd see, and she's a bit of she likes the devil's water. She was always drinking. I remember that. But she just literally put a toe on the stage and suddenly Becky Lynch would appear. It was really weird. And one image always sticks to me.
She's a really strong character.
Oh, very strong.
Really strong.
But I remember her bodyguard was a lesbian, and I mean a butch lesbian, a big like this, and then we found out they were having an affair later on. But I remember one image of her. I remember standing. I was in the wings, and I suddenly saw her coming from the back of the stage. And because it was dark, she was having to be careful as she was walking. Well, I just looked down at her legs and her feet, and she has the most stunning legs and feet going. And then when she released her book, you find out that's how she starts her life as a model. And she was famed for her legs and her feet. She looks
tall. Well, she looks really tall.
She's not tall. She's not small, but she's not tall either. But she's got tiny. I think her feet are size 3. That's how small they are. Tiny little feet. Really small, but the legs, if she'd been a ballet dancer, right, God, she would have been famed for her legs. She had the most stunning legs I've ever seen on any woman. Absolutely beautiful. And then I read in the book. If anyone hasn't seen it, if you get Just Julie, it's a fascinating book. She had a roller coaster of life, but she was no way this drama queen that she's painted out to be. She's just, I'd say, she'd come into work. She didn't give a damn. She didn't try to impress anyone. She didn't bother anyone, and she'd just literally go on the stage. But people were slagging her off because I think she was getting something like, if I remember rightly, 10 grand. No, £1,000 it was, which was a lot then. £1,000 for every time she went on the stage, every performance. And I said, why not? I said, because I said, she's earned it. And I can tell you now, they'll be getting them. That theatre was full every time. There wasn't a day that they didn't have a full house. So she was amazing. I loved her. I thought she was absolutely fantastic. Do you ever remember a Jockney? You'll remember Bette Lynch, won't you, from the old days as well?
Oh, he was brilliant from Coronation Street. Yeah.
Yeah. The old days, Kate, you'll be too young to remember this. Remember that the old women? I thought that was you then, Jockney. I thought that was you, Jockney. I thought, what's happened to you? What's Jockney about? But yeah, do you remember the old maitres d' in Coronation Street when women were really tough characters, weren't they, in the past? Really tough. You didn't mess with women back then, especially northern women. No way. Well, Cockney women, you didn't either. Cockney women were tough back then. But fantastic. Let's see what's the saying in the chat. Is that the real PP or the... Because PP's got a lot of fans that pretend to be him, you know. They do. So is that the real PP or not?
Yeah, and I do remember Coronation Street because my mum watched it all the time. So
yeah.
And I'm 47 this year, so I can kind of remember quite a bit of it.
Well, Ina Sharples, she was the best one of all, wasn't she?
Strong woman, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She was the tough one, yeah.
She was the one with the hairnet, and she read people. I tell you now, if you ever see Ina Sharples in old playbacks, if you're too young to remember that, women were like that, around like that in those days. You see them with the hairnet, and they were really tough women because they've been through the wars. They've been through 2 world wars and all this. They had to be tough, but Minnie Caldwell, she was one horror in real life.
Remember Minnie Caldwell? Yeah.
Minnie Caldwell, she was one horrible old bitch. I met her. I had the unfortunate task of meeting her twice when I was very young, and she was one nasty, horrible old bitch. And I remember she used to know, because on Coronation she was so twee and nice and all this. She didn't care whether there were kids around her or not. The language out of that woman was disgusting. I'm talking about the C word, the lot. And even as a child, I thought, she shouldn't be talking like that in front of kids. Oh, she didn't care. She was a horrible poor bag. But yet she was so sweet on it. So it shows what a good actress was, that she could come over and so sweet when in reality she was absolute nightmare. Oh, Elsie Tanner.
That was Elsie Tanner, yeah.
Yeah. She was the tart with the heart, wasn't she? Vera Duckworth. Yeah. Oh, she was lovely in real life. She was lovely in real life.
You know the woman Rita, something called Rita.
Yeah, Rita used to. Yeah, used to hold the cabin and all that. What was that, Kate?
Was it Rita Fairclough?
Fairclough, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were always getting married. I haven't watched Coronation Street for absolute years, but I think what it is, in the past, this is what I loved about it. It was funny. They mixed drama with humour perfectly. And I think that's what's missing now. And also, if you look at EastEnders or you look at what was Brookside, and I used to think Brookside was absolutely awful. It was too much moaning in it. Whereas in Coronation Street, you always had a bit of laughter going on, didn't you? It was
yeah, and what about Betty Turpin?
Oh, Betty Turpin. Well, did you ever? I never met her, but yeah, Betty's hot pot. But did you hear about her life? I was shocked when I heard about it. She literally, she was in the theatre, like me. She was put into the theatre as a very small child. But my experience was nothing like hers. I had a tough experience, but she had a horrific experience. She didn't want to go into it, and her mother forced her into it. And she said, never once did she feel like she was anything else to her mother than someone to get on the stage and make money.
Just to go on
She had a
stage,
horrible time. You used to get people like that. You'd always know the kids that were pushed into it just so they could either the parents could live through them, get the fame that they never had, or could earn money out of them. That's all that it was.
Sorry, and did you mention Hilda Ogden previously? Hilda
Hilda Ogden.
She was my favourite.
That's my favourite one, Hilda Ogden. She was just fun. Jean, wasn't Jean Marsh? What am I saying Jean Marsh for? What was her name? Let's check. She was great, Let's see. Jean Alexander. And you it wasn't Mark. Jean Alexander. Yeah, she was great, wasn't she? She was the best one out of them, I think. I used to love it.
In real life, and of character, she might have been a bit posh, like.
She's a Scouser, isn't she? Wasn't she?
Yeah, okay.
She's actually a Scouser, but a virgin. Never got married, never had us. She let that out a few years ago. She said no, I've never did.
The swallows, them free bird things you stick on the wall.
Oh, the flying ducks. I love them. Trying to get them
really
now.
In fashion.
Oh,
people buy them now.
Yeah, they are this thing that keep your old items. Some items from the past I wish I had now because they're all the rage now. Tucker, Uncle Bobby. Well, all that I can tell you about that, let's call him what he is. Not Uncle Bobby. Not Uncle Bobby. Let's call him depraved Bobby. Let's call him depraved.
We mustn't panic. We mustn't panic.
How do?
Yes.
We mustn't panic.
I don't know why I put it on twice. The terror of all chicken coops all over. Oh, tell you what now, yeah, I was determined to out. That's quite right. Who's Uncle Bobby? Now that's a comment that I like. Who's Uncle Bobby? Yes, quite right. Who is he? I'm not quite sure myself. He's got some little channel.
Coronation Street, and if Uncle Bobby would be a character in Coronation Street.
He's too. Who wants to watch a granddad? Who wants to watch some old granddad going on saying things like wah? I mean, who the hell says wah now in this modern day? Wah, got wah. It's all like e-buy gum. No one talks like that now. E-buy gum and all that. Even Yorkshire people don't talk like that.
Maybe Emmerdale Farm, Last of Summer Wine, thing like that,
Do you know what? That Emmerdale Farm, I used to hate that. I hated that years ago. It was the most boring, stupid show going. It really was boring. The characters were boring. When you clashed it with Coronation Street, they were just two worlds apart. But Last of the Summer Wine. Oh, we'd go well in Last of the Summer Wine. Yeah, we'd go well.
I loved that. We Compo. I loved that program.
Compo.
The wee guy with the hat.
Yeah,
brilliant.
And Nora
what was
Bassey.
The lady called?
Nora Bassey.
That was it. Yeah. Was Compo not in love with Nora Bassey?
Well, he used to pretend he was to wind her up, didn't he? He'd wind her up doing that. Oh, it was. But she was a great
night. It was.
She was a brilliant actress. She was in Emmerdale. Not Emmerdale. What was she in? She was in Nora Bassey.
The Compo character. Well, when he passed away, but his son actually took over for him. He was an actor as well. He was in some of the later episodes. He really looks like him as well.
Right.
Yeah. I think half the time, though, the best note with something, it's like what happened over, Mrs. Brown's Boys, which I was never into. I always found Mrs. Brown Boys really old. It was just really old-fashioned, but with swear words in it. And I used to think there were some things were funny, but it just didn't float my boat. But anyway, Rory in it, the character Rory. Do you remember the original Rory? The gay fella in it, the gay character.
Yeah.
and he was gay in real life. For some reason, he was you never found him offensive. I talk to him on Twitter now and again. You never find him offensive. He was funny. It was okay and all that. But then when he left, I said, what they should do is just write the character out and not try to introduce it. But he didn't. For some reason, they brought in a new Rory, supposed to be another Rory, and he was so offensive in my mind because he was trying to act like when he was going, oh, mommy, and all this. Yeah. When Rory, the original Rory, did it, it
was natural with him.
Yeah. But when this fella did, it was all, oh, and I thought, big mistake. And I said, this is going to go right down the pan, actually. And that's what starts happening. Starts going down, didn't it? But yeah, so sometimes it's best to just say, if a character leaves, write them out. And just get something else in than try to emulate them, because it's the phase one is always happens to be the best one, don't they? For some reason. Hey, well, what's this? I'm just looking at the chat here. Oh, Crossroads. That's what I was thinking
Crossroads.
Of. That's where
Benny.
Yeah, and Benny was good. I liked him and Miss Diane, but that was a bit. Do you know what was one of my favorites? See if you remember this, right? Prisoner Cell Block H.
Loved it. Little Lizzie.
Loved it. Yeah. I used to have the flashes.
All the time.
The Wentworth flashes, I used to have that. But yeah, good. Oh God, that was and what was the name? Oh, I can't remember. No, not B.
Is it Doreen?
There was Doreen. Do you remember Frankie? You could. That's what I loved about it. It didn't do it by halves. If it had a lesbian character like Frankie Doyle, right? They didn't do it by half. She'd wear dungarees and she'd have like an DA, duck's ass, it's they used to call it, hairdo, and really match up. They didn't do it by halves. They did go for it and be like, well, we need a lesbian, so we just make it just as obvious.
It was really obvious. What about, excuse my swearing, vinegar tits?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah, absolutely.
I was scared of her.
Were you?
Yeah, she was really strict.
Oh, I just actually, what it was, remember, my mama was watching it, and I didn't know what it was because it was on late, and I thought, oh, what's this rubbish? So I was home for a few weeks, and I'm watching the show, and she was loving it. So one day I sat down and thought, oh, I'll watch it with her, and I was hooked. I was absolutely hooked on it. I thought, this is absolutely brilliant. Oh, why can't I remember the little old ladies? The one that had all the wrinkles. Oh,
that was Lizzie.
Lizzie Birdsworth.
She was my favourite. Yeah. Lizzie Birdsworth, yeah.
Oh, she was fantastic, wasn't she, Lizzie? And I remember one day, this is how I got hooked on it, because you see her and she's moaning that she can't get a cigarette. They take the cigarettes from her. And then you see her, she gets a cigarette and she's like this. And you could see the saliva on her lips. And I said to me, Mama, I said, she's really gone without a cigarette all day there. I'm filming stuff because you could tell she was really enjoying it. And anyone that's ever smoked, when you haven't had a cigarette and suddenly you get one, oh, it's the most beautiful feeling, isn't it? You're just sent to heaven, aren't you? But yeah, I thought that's what got me in there. So, Brookie or Brookside. I could never get into Brookside. I just couldn't get into it at all. It was too much moaning. Did you find that? And it's same with EastEnders, the moaning all the time, aren't they? And you think, put some comedy into it. You don't have to be moaning all the time. Oh, Bad Girls.
That's one I never watched.
Which?
Bad Girls.
Bad Girls. I used to. There was another one.
I was just saying I hadn't watched Brookside, but I remember Bad Girls, yeah.
Yeah. But Bad Girls, what was the one? There was another one, Behind Bars, wasn't it? Or something like that. That's going right back to the 70s. And that was the first source of one where it was done in a woman's prison.
What about that one? And I don't know if it was a one-off drama thing called Widows. Widows.
Oh yeah, Widows. God, yeah, that didn't last, and that was good. That was really good. That Widow. That was more gritty, wasn't it? That was more trying to be realistic, wasn't it? That I think that's why that didn't last. Because let's see, just looking at the chat here. Within these walls, that was it. Yeah, that was the one with Googie with us, wasn't it? Sure, it was Googie with us, and that was the first one. She was the governor in it. Yeah, and that was the very first one in a woman's prison, as far as I know. And Googie with us, she was the one that what was his name? Oh, I'll think about it sooner or later. She used to tell some stories about a time in the films that used to be funny. So anyway, what are you all planning? Have you anyway? Okay, right? Because you get around a bit, don't you? On these panels and all that, you watch all these panels. Any date that I can come up with about someone else other than who's going to come up with date next? Got any?
I'm the wrong person to ask because I hate.
You sound like a bleep.
I like it to be like bullying. No, you're allowed to do it. But, like in the chat, it's nice just to hear away from it all.
Can you understand the way to that, Johnny? She sounds like a robot, doesn't she? You're sounding like a robot there.
The laptop, it's not me. Yeah, I'm the wrong to ask. Ask me.
Sounds like a dad.
It sounds like a Dalek. She's turned into. This is what happens, you see. This is what happens. She's turned into a Dalek now.
It's because you called me a witch.
Yeah, that's it. You're getting me back now, aren't you? You're getting me back. Oh, Tenko, that was good as well. Remember that, Tenko? I like that. Ben said, didn't like Tenko. I thought that was okay. That was about the Japanese prisoner of wars, wasn't it? Karate Marty, I thought you're still doing your thing, your what you call it, your Dalek. And what you think about Karate Marty? I think there's a lot of questions around him. I'm not, but he's one of these classic ones, isn't he? That's in with Decker, then suddenly turns on Decker, then's giving out all the day. But you're asking the question, well, what has he been up to? Didn't he turn around and say that his wife had been treated terrible by Decker? Well, if he knows all this, why was he letting Decker do it? That's the question. He'd be more at fault in that way. If I knew someone that I was supposed to be in love with, or anyone, and I said, came on here and starts going, and treats them terrible, the first question I'd expect to be asked is, well, why did you sit back and let that happen? So he's another one, isn't he? You can tell. It's just, let's slate Decker, but he's got questions of his own. He's got it. But everyone turns on Decker, don't they? Once they start talking to people who don't like Decker, they turn on him. I think they think, oh, God, I better do this. But there's lots of them like that. I don't trust any of them, do you, Johnny, who used to be friendly with Decker, then suddenly they turn on him after they get pressured.
Turn on him, don't they? All seem to turn on him. So this guy called Karate Marty has given Decker the chop, hasn't he?
Yeah. But he's coming out with things, he hasn't thought the story through too well, because he's coming out with things which sort of implicate him. Why would you let someone treat your partner like dirt like that and not say something? You'd say something, wouldn't you? You'd say, wait a minute, do you mind not doing that, or you can get out? So I think it's looking bad on him. That's what it's coming out as. But it keeps, so he's not a very intelligent man. He hasn't thought this out. He hasn't thought out, oh God, I'm going off truthful to a stupid degree. But there's something not right there. And I know Decker's saying things like he has an escort company. Now, I know Decker lies and he does make up stories, but there's something about the way he's saying this that seems to be truthful. You can tell, Johnny, I used to say this, when I used to be taking statements every day in the police, you quickly learn over time to judge whether someone's lying to you or they're telling the truth. And it's just by the way they'll say things, and they'll put something in there that you think, now, if they were lying, they wouldn't think to put that detail in if they were telling a lie. He was telling this, and he says because of this holiday period, he's not using these girls now or pimping them, basically, these young women. He's not pimped them out. And that's what made me think this could be true, because only if he was telling the truth would he think to say, because it's not the holiday period, you know, he's not pimping them out. And it's little things like that. And I think he might be telling the truth here with this one.
I think
So,
I find strange is that if somebody like you know, he was saying something about he was you know, his wife or something was doing all the washing, picking up all and all that. Now, if anybody goes to somebody's house, like this is most normal people, they go to somebody's house that they've never met before and all that, and that they wouldn't be slinging stuff about and all that. You usually you're tidy, you know, you're not going to be how can I put it?
sloppy. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You wouldn't. I don't think most people would be throwing stuff about, and you know, you offer to do the dishes and all that sort of stuff, don't you? You know.
Yeah. And more idiots his wife, if she was doing that. I don't know many women that would turn around and say, "Oh, well, pick it up," to say, "Do it yourself." Well, they'd leave it there. Never. Thanks for coming on, Kate. That was wonderful. Anyway, this is just for Kate. You can sod off, Celts. This is for Kate. So Celts, go on, sod off. This is for Kate. There, that's just for Kate. So, yeah, so yeah, you would. You'd be. I suppose some people might be that selfish that they wouldn't, but for the first few days you'd try to, wouldn't you, to actually keep on side with them. But didn't he ask him over? I mean, I don't watch it. Someone just said he's finding Decker boring, and I have the same thing. I'm finding it well boring, and I think what I'm finding really boring to the point of, oh my god, my arse needs an electric shock put through it to wake it up again, is that people are doing videos about, oh, guess what? He didn't eat his dinner right. Oh, guess what? He looked left. He looked right. Oh, guess what? And it's like, that's just pathetic yawn stuff. Talk about Decker when he's done something that needs talking about. Don't talk about just every single day. And people want, again, if people want it, if there's an audience for it, go for it. That's right, but I couldn't do that because I'd be like, what am I doing here? Just saying things that they can go and watch them themselves if they want to hear it. But yeah, it's thank you, Ben. But well, let's see. The old thing, what's this? The old thing of your enemy's enemy being your friend. A lot are all over me. Exactly. I've said this from day one, and I've had it out with people. I've had it out with Humble, and everyone knows I get on with Humble, so I wasn't getting a Humble for you know, to be nasty, but I said no. I said it's too much of this, which it is, Jockney. If you say you don't like Decker, you could be the worst sod going and have the worst record of abuse going, but suddenly that can be ignored because you're forgiven because you don't like Decker. I don't get that. I don't get that at all.
Either, yeah.
I don't. To me, that just doesn't make sense. It's like, no, it's bad when everyone does it, not just when. And actually, some things I know what Decker's accused of, but I've seen people who are taken on board and are loved and cuddled who have done worse things, and we know they've done it because they've had convictions for it. You know, that's why, and that's what gets me. I can't be arsed with all that double standards. So, and that puts me off. I mean, you turn around and say, look, it's horrible for you to do it. It's horrible for that person to do it. Yeah, call Decker, but you're just as bad or even worse for doing it. You know, it is double standards. So I agree with you there, Kelsey, definitely 100%.
Thing is, you know, the thing is, I can't see this thing. Nothing lasts forever, does it? Anywhere. And sooner or later, what will happen with this Decca scenario? You know, because nothing
Well-
lasts forever. You know,
Well,
it's got to end, you know.
well, mind you, but just say to TCAF, right? I can rap with it. I mean, I rap. Didn't you hear my Decca? Not my Decca, my Danny G rap. If I can remember, I'm Danny G in me cap. I do me rap. It's a load of crap. It's just a cat sat on the mats. That's what you call rap. That's what. Oh God, I'm with it. I am. I'm with it. I've never lost it. I've always been. I've always been of cool and down with the times. I have been. But yeah, see, you've got competition now, Johnny. You didn't know you had competition, did you? Oh yeah, you have. But anyway, no, as I was saying the other day, you can go two ways with Decca, and this is what I got. Really was so that's why I did the thing yesterday, the show about make me famous, the Decca Heggie YouTube Fame Academy. What it is that it's got to the stage now where it could actually, that he's not going to fade out into obscurity. He's going to absolutely zoom into notoriety. And with notoriety comes a fan base. So that they're actually making him or creating a situation where he could become more of a person. Look at the views he's raking in. Look, when someone talking about you is getting 3,000, or like Bobby did a few days ago, got 9,000 views when they're talking about someone, that means that person is important and worth looking at and checking out. And if you look at what Decca's getting, he's getting even bigger views. So this would be that he's not going to fade out. He's going to actually go into the stratosphere and he'll get fans, lots of fans, just because he's known. I tell you now, it's sickening. And this is what I used to struggle with in the theatre as well. The way people would fawn over someone just because they were well known or in the public domain, within entertainment, and be like, oh, no, oh, you're wonderful and all this. They didn't even know who they were. But didn't know them as people, I should say. They only knew them as characters that they saw on the stage or on the television. And that's the problem that can happen. I think they're making him more and more, so I don't think he will fade away. And they can't let him fade away, Johnny, because if they let him fade away, let's be brutally honest here, Video Craig's going to have to come up with something else. Uncle Bobby's going to have to come up with something else. They're all going to, come up with something else. And they're going to struggle. So the worst thing that could happen is for him to fade away. That's the way it goes. But I'll say about Craig again, and I'll say it again. He's the only one that's honest about what he's doing. No one else is. He's honest. But I think I was saying to Humble Drive a while ago, said, this going on and going on, which Humble Drive, he notices, has backed away from him. He doesn't mention him as much. You never hear motorsports talking about him either. Never. And the reason for that is it's trying to ignore what's going on. Trying to blank it and not go on about him. But again, people like it, and this is what I've got to remember. If people didn't like what Craig was doing, if people didn't like what Uncle Bobby was doing, they wouldn't watch. So it's providing some kind of entertainment there. And you just have to let them get on with it. What's this PP? Pseudonyms. And so many pseudonyms. And so I like to talk to people to try and get a bearing. Especially, that makes no sense. Johnny, can you see that? What does that mean?
See that, that's pseudonyms. And so I like to talk to people to try and get a bearing as best I can. Yeah, I don't know what he's getting at there, really. I
think it's on. If that is the real PP, see, that's Kelsey to do, but Kelsey takes half an hour, to bleep about everything. You can't get the staff now, and I only charge her. Said this last week. I only charge her £30 a month to be my moderator, and she still. I mean, I should double what she pays me. Here we go. Yeah, that's it, Craig. Huh? But do you think that's because of what he's talking about, or the looking at it thinking, my God, do people like that actually exist? Do you think it could be that, Kelsey, to think, oh my God, they look at Craig and think, there's actually people like that in the world. Like when like these alien things they've just come out with, Johnny, these alien bodies, and everyone's like, oh, let's see the alien things that they're going on about. Do you think it's like that? They're thinking, oh God, do people like Video Craig actually exist? Do you think it's more that, Kelsey? She's not going to answer that, is she? She's not going to answer that. So, let's say. But the thing is, Maureen, right? You just if it's what people want, they must want that kind of thing, and so it's stupid to turn around and say, no, you can't have it, that way. So, and I suppose if it wasn't Craig, if it wasn't the others, it'd be someone else, Johnny, wouldn't it? Someone else would be doing it. So you just have to get on with it.
I can see further down the road, and I don't know how long in the future, but I think they'll end up making that. Somebody will make a film about this, like a movie about Decker. A proper movie thing.
Oh, come on. That would be even worse than a brand new criminal, wouldn't it? My God. No, all that he's got to do, and this is when he will go absolutely sky high. This is my prediction, if it happens. All that he's got to do is get a big podcaster or a television network to pick up a story about being cyberbullied. No, how he says he's being cyberbullied, which in a way he is. We have to admit to it. Does he deserve it? That's another question. But he is being cyberbullied in some respects, though he's inviting it and enjoying it. And he said that he likes what Craig's doing. So let's not forget that he likes what Craig's doing, because he said himself it gets him views. But if a network picked up on that, that's when suddenly Decker as a thing to be sold could happen. And that's where it could happen.
Yeah, the thing is as well, if it was made into a movie about him, right, you've also got the thing about the bare knuckle side of it, the actual fighting and all that.
Yeah.
You've got, like, take license to, it'd be a film, an action type movie as well, wouldn't it? If you know what I mean. Like, with the fight.
God, I don't think many people would want to see a film. See, this is why you've got to be careful with films as well. One, you can never predict what's going to be successful. For every successful film you get, God, how many hit the head and floor and you never see them or hear of them again and never get a release. But
sorry, Anne, what do you think? He might even end up, if he gets screen tested, he might even play himself in the movie.
What it is with Decker, I've always said about him, what I've seen of his acting, he can act when he's not being an idiot like he was doing with that Draco thing. Do you remember when he was doing that Draco thing, trying to be a Polish gangster, and it just sounded absolutely pathetic. But when he gets really, and I mean when he really gets intense, because he acts being offended, he acts being annoyed. But when he really does get riled and you look at his eyes, he could play a really bad gangster, evil gangster in some film, if he got in that mindset. Because his eyes, I've never seen anyone with such intense eyes as he's got when he really gets annoyed. They literally, you can see in his eyes that he's well. So if he could hone his acting skills, but if anything, if it's anything like that, I say Draco, whatever it was, that Polish thing, that was awful.
Yeah, he's got to do a film, wasn't he? Like, I remember that.
Yeah. And that thing, did anyone ever see the fella? Oh, what's his name? The fella that was directing that. That seems to hit the floor. Oh God, the fella that was directing that. He is absolutely a clown. You see him on. I watch him now and again when he pops up on. Oh God, what's it called? Instagram, and he is an utter tool. I've never seen. So he's really thinks he's hard. No, that fella that went guilty and all that, and he's all this, take his top off, and I'm this. Got his kids in a car doing that. Oh, please, his young daughter and son doing things like that, gun signs. And he's a right tool in. But of course, if you heard of it since, no. Because he's going to produce nothing but a load of cack. See, this is what I would say. People think it's easy. I remember when Ellis was saying, going to do his documentary on Decca. It's easy to say, I'm going to do a documentary. It's easy to say, I'm going to do a film, do this. The reason directors, the reason scriptwriters, the reason people in the film industry, cameramen, everyone, camera people, I should say, shouldn't I? Persons, get so much money is because they have to be trained and they're at a high level. You can't just make a documentary. And that's what impressed me about Dave, what's his name? What is it called? I've no Dave that worked with Decca on the documentary. Oh, you know who I'm talking about, Jockney.
You mean the guy who just used to have the
no, the fat fella from Liverpool, Dodgy Dave.
Oh yeah.
Now that's why I was shocked. Dodgy Dave. Part of a lot of that documentary were really professional. There were some inside scenes in the house which weren't too well done, but actually that was done like a professional documentary. Now, usually the only people that can produce that are someone that's been in the industry for years. And I was shocked that Dodgy Dave could actually pull that off because it was very professional. Whether you like Decca or not, the documentary, the way it was filmed, was very, very professional. Very professional. So I was shocked by that. Oh, God, did I say the fat fella? Or wasn't that terrible? I'm not too bleeding slim myself, I can assure you. Because
Which was this documentary? I've never seen this one.
Do you remember Knives Down, Fists Up? Do you remember Decca Hecky? Knives Down, Fists Up? That one. That Decca put on, did, when he was in Liverpool talking about knife crime.
Oh, sorry, is that the one about knife crime in Liverpool or something?
Well, that was done extremely professional. I was shocked when I found out that Dodgy Dave did it. I thought, well, wait a minute, that's been done by a professional. So he's got talent in that way, Dodgy Dave. And if that's the first one he did, he's amazing. He should have gone into that.
And which channel was the documentary on, do you know? Right.
It was on Thingios, wasn't it? It was on Decca's. I don't know whether it's live now, but it was on Decca's channel, wasn't it? One of them. Then he took it down, didn't he? Then he put it back up, if I remember rightly. But yeah, it was, no matter what you think of him, it was an extremely well produced. Because when I found, and I didn't find that out until recently that Dodgy Dave did, I thought, well, wait a minute, if he's just pulled that out of his head, Dodgy Dave, you listening or anyone's listening, knows Dodgy Dave, get your act together, because if you can produce that and you've got no experience of doing documentaries, my God, you should go into that field of work, because it was very, very professionally done. It was amazing, because it's not an easy job, Jockney. I couldn't do a documentary. You've got to plan it now. You've got to know how audiences will see it. It's not easy at all. Just let's have a look at the little chat up there. Look at the chat.
Did he direct the documentary on that?
It was Dodgy Dave, wasn't it?
Oh, what he directed? He directed the documentary.
Yeah, he did it all. He did it all, apparently. The only thing that was off-putting was some of the inside scenes in the houses didn't go all that well, but it's because it wasn't framed well. They call the thing called framing. You have it in theatre, in television films and all that. They call it frame. It's what the scene looks like now. Everyone's sitting, and Decca's like this, leaning down, which didn't look very good.
Yeah,
and it just wasn't framed well. So there were a couple of bits, and also Decca doing this, which I would have pulled him up as if I'd been there. He was doing this all the time. That looks like this. When people were talking, he was doing this.
I see.
And that can look like, if someone's doing this all the time, it can make it look like they're saying, yeah, go on, get on with it, hurry up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Because one thing they do to tell you to get a move on in television is they do this, they start doing this.
Aye.
And that means get a move on, you're taking too long. So that I would have said, stop nodding your head, because it looks like you're not listening to what they're actually saying and you want them to shut up. But other than that, It was extremely. Oh, Jedi, do you have to? That's what image I do not want in my head. I don't want that in my head, Jedi. God, it gets called a certain name, Dave. Oh, it's just something seeing those legs up in the air and those cheeks waiting for that. Oh no. So that's a good time for me to part company now. So anyway, Johnny, I'll be on again tomorrow if anyone wants to jump on. The PD's here. Come back on PD NFG anytime you want to. Anytime you want to. And thank you again to Kate. Email Kate, this is for you. This is for you. And this is for Kels. And this, let's see, let's get one for you, John. So everyone in the chat, thank you for joining us, John. Any last words of wisdom to give to the populace?
I'll just say to everybody, I hope you have a very good evening. Enjoy yourself tonight, and thanks for tuning in. Anne's fantastic
show. And make sure, darlings, that you wear protection. Always wear protection. You don't want no little criers, ankle biters running around that you don't want to burn in you, do you? So anyway, I'll leave you with this. Just remember this, darlings, that when you see that Uncle Bobby, if you see him coming down the road, get your chickens and put them in the coops and guard them well. Night, night, me lovelies. Night.
We mustn't panic. We mustn't panic.
How do?